Okay, Flight. You read his pitch and yaw on his high gain meter.
That's affirmative.
And now you want roll right to 060? No,
yeah, I might as well do that. And we'll try and get Comet Bennett. I'd still like a verification on the docking angle because that's what we'll be using for computations of all alignments and everything else. Let's see if there's anything else.
Flight Econ.
Go ahead, Econ.
Okay, well, let's terminate the battery B charge at 55 plus 50.
Okay.
And at the same time, I'd sure like to have a cryo stir all 4 tanks.
Let's wait till they get settled down a bit more.
Roger.
Flight GNC.
Go, GNC.
Okay, we'd still like to re-enable the other 2 quads for the maneuver.
Okay, when rolling to 060, you want them to enable C and D, right?
Right.
You want them to disable A and B?
No.
Okay, all 4 quads.
We have a couple jet maneuver.
Roger. Ecom, ECS.
Copy, Capcom?
Go.
Got it. How about meeting me on CSM1, please?
I'd like to confirm the configuration
Go ahead.
of your high gain now. If that's good. I'd like to know what track.
So, looking at this C27,
electronics are there.
we have been going 180 degrees out from this thing.
C and D.
I don't understand it. I wanted to talk to you guys about it.
Terminate.
Yeah, we're, figure we came up with was adding about 14 degrees to it. And when we do add 14 degrees to our
third thing we want
temp shown, boy, we're damn close to right on the money.
To the other tank.
Yeah,
Tank 1.
When you do a comparison of tank 1 by adding 14 degrees, you're right there.
You want the whole works?
Yes, the whole
Okay.
What are they saying? Add 15 degrees? Subtract 15 degrees.
Capcom, we want the configuration.
And we came up with that on past history.
I don't understand.
Before the failure.
Apollo 13, Houston. The next thing we'd like you to do is to...
When you take data that we had before the failure,
to 060
and
know your rate for
you add
photography
15
of
degrees,
the
14
Comet
degrees to that
To do that, we'd
data,
like you to enable
it checks out
quad
that way.
C and D.
Who put this thing in anyway? It doesn't say.
And in an
Shelby Owens,
terminate the
5530. You want to call Shelby?
battery charge and battery B.
Say again?
You want to call Shelby Owens?
One other quick request, we'd like to...
Yeah, you might give him a call.
No, why don't you give him a call?
Verify
Because you know what you're handling there. He's at 5907.
to know what track mode, what servo, and what beam width.
Okay. 5907.
That's over in 45.
Okay, we'll give him a call.
Okay. I'll keep the monitor up on this loop.
Okay.
Anything
That's
else?
good.
Okay.
No.
And we had a good lockup. Just after we started the maneuver, I was able to lock you up and get real good signal strength. And it just seemed that right there at about 239 degrees in yaw, that the signal strength would just drop off and yaw would go to 0 and pitch would go to 90.
Roger, we copy. And the TV show was great.
Flight GNC.
Go, GNC.
Can we verify that they
Okay, real
re-enable C4 thrusters?
Okay, I'm going to maneuver to 060, 090, and 0.
Okay, verify that you're showing it disabled yet?
Yes.
Capcom, we're still seeing C4 thruster disabled.
Ecom EPS.
I was waiting for you to call me.
Yeah, they haven't shut up
you
the charge.
to check C4 thruster.
Flight Econ?
Go, Ecom.
We've got 40 amp hours back in battery B now.
Okay.
You got it, Flight.
Okay. Okay, all flight controllers, I want to go around the horn and pick up anything you need configuration-wise. Tell them you.
Go ahead, Flight.
You still worried about any configuration items?
Negative. The LEM heater current indicates that the LEM was properly closed out. They apparently have not closed the LEM hatch yet.
Okay. So you're happy that you don't need them to verify that, what is it, activation 2-3 of those pages we were on?
That's right. It was TLC 2 and we're happy.
Span conference.
Okay.
Go.
Hey, what do you think about that gauging thing? You think that's a lot of
Well,
hooey or what?
I haven't had a chance already to talk to my guys in any detail.
Okay.
They think it's they're 180 out. So
And
why don't you stand by the wall?
Okay, well, just remember, it's an open item. You got
Yeah.
the original.
I got it.
Index. We'd like to know if that's 2.0 precise or if it's 2.1 or 1.9.
No, it's a minus 2.0 precisely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got your answer, Guidance?
Roger, Frank.
Okay, go with it. Okay, GNC, you got any configuration items here?
Negative, Flight.
Capcom, looks like the last item we need here is a stir on the H2 and O2 at their convenience.
Okay.
Coming up on an MCW, huh?
Yeah, 55, 52.
13, we've got one more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like it to stir up your cryo tank.
That MCNW already occurred, Ecom.
I missed it.
Or
Thank
look
you.
at the Comet Bennett if you need it.
Okay, 55, 52 it came on.
Thank you.
Ecom on, Ecom 1 loop.
Okay, let's make sure we get the stir first, George. Can you hang on? He did read it up to them. Guys, look at your O2 quantities and see if you see a big change. Go ahead.
Are you going to ask the crew about that antenna configuration or not?
They give it to us. They're in auto, narrow, and primary.
Okay.
Flight gun.
Go, Guidance.
We finally got our Delta H update. Do you want to just read it up to the crew or uplink it?
Let's see now. Can we collapse dead bands and do all that good stuff if we uplink here?
Yeah. Why don't we just read it up to them?
Well, if they enter it through the disky, are they going to do it?
Stand by one.
Now, we haven't stabled out in that attitude yet, so I don't think we're going to have any
Right,
problem.
I don't think there's any problem. They haven't opened up dead bands.
Yeah, that's just what the time to do it is now, Guidance.
Flight gun.
Go, Guidance.
As long as he's in poo and don't reselect it, he can
ECS, Ecom.
uplink it or enter it in.
Go, Ecom.
You getting your stir now on the O2?
Can't. Might be.
No, that's data.
Why don't you got a
We've gone off the high
gain
gain.
crew checklist anyway on board, don't you?
Right.
Don't you got a page update? Well, why don't we read it up to them, and that'll serve both purposes.
All right.
Both have them entered, as well as why don't you tell them what page you want it in the checklist.
Okay.
Flight commune.
Go tell them.
We showed the overhead hatches.
What's the matter with the data, Ecom?
Heater current looks normal.
Okay.
We got more than a problem.
Okay, listen, you guys. We've lost fuel cell 1 and 2 pressure.
We lost O2 tank 2 pressure
GNC, you want to look at it?
and temperature.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Okay.
Stand by, they got a problem.
You see a hardware restart.
Undervolt.
You see an
Roger,
AC
main
bus
B undervolt.
there, Guidance? Or Ecom?
Negative, Flight.
O2 tank 2 pressure.
I believe the crew reported.
We got a main B undervolt.
Okay, Flight. We've got some
Main B.
instrumentation files. Let me add them up.
Raj.
Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
We may have had an instrumentation problem, Flight.
Raj.
Okay, let's get our instrumentation lined up here, you guys.
Go on.
ECS, what do you got? Brownie, you copying us? Air to ground.
The voltage is
O2 tank 2.
looking good,
Pressure. O2 tank 1 fluctuating.
Coming down on O2 tank.
And we had a pretty large bang associated with the caution and warning there. And as I recall, main B was the one that had a amp spike on it once before.
Okay.
Okay. Is that pressure coming down?
You say you want the wide beam width there?
It's coming to 373. It hasn't moved.
Is that reflected anywhere?
Negative, no, it's not a
Negative.
signal gate.
Say again, Larry?
No signal gate. No common signal gate.
We're starting to go ahead and button up the tunnel again.
Si, we got to find out what the configuration is on the cryo tanks, on the heaters and fans.
Must have rocked
We can determine that from
the sensor on, see now on O2 quantity 2, it was oscillating down around 20 to 60%. Now it's full scale high again.
Roger.
Okay, let's check our electrical now, you guys.
Hey, we've got some problems with fuel cell 1 and 2, if we believe the data we got.
Restart on our computer.
EPS Econ.
Yeah.
Okay, now he reported an AC2 glitch.
And our ping's light. Reset on the ping and reset.
I was running some calculation.
How about you, Steve?
Negative.
Okay, there's AC2 again.
There we go.
AC2.
ECS Econ, does that reflect your AC2?
Fuel cell 3 current's gone to zero.
By the way, Si,
Main B is...
surge tank's holding in there.
Okay.
Okay. We need to put a fuel cell on bus B.
Okay.
So we
Flight
A
Econ?
lot of instrumentation problems. Go ahead.
That's fine.
Hey, he's removed fuel cell 1.
He's flipping our fuel cells around, Flight.
Well, let's get some recommendation here, Si, if you got any better ideas.
Right, we got it.
Okay, EPS.
Fuel cell 1 is disconnected from A. We need to reconnect fuel cell 1 to A and 3 to B. See if we can reconnect them.
Okay. Flight Econ?
Go ahead.
He's got fuel cells 1 and 3 are offline. We've got main A volts. We have no main B volts. Have him attempt to reconnect the fuel cells. Fuel cell 1 to main A, fuel cell 3 to main B.
3 to B.
Okay. Fuel
Let's just
cell
try that.
1.
Back to main A, fuel cell 3 back to main B.
Main A, 3 to main B.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, now, do we have instrumentation problems?
Well, we lost it does appear we've lost AC bus 2 voltage. Main B is reading 4 volts, and that effectively takes AC2 away from us.
Okay.
He was showing those barber pole on board.
Yeah, and he reported barber poles on the on the fuel cells on board too. Flight. Let's see if we can get our DC back.
Raj, go ahead, GNC.
Verify that the quad delta helium valves are open.
Now, are you seeing an attitude problem, or are you seeing some bi-levels that are giving you problems?
No, some low pressures in the fuel and oxidizer, which would be symptomatic of the helium valve closing and firing some jets.
Quad number 2, helium valve open?
Quad delta.
Quad.
Larry, you don't believe that O2 tank 1 pressure, do you?
No. Surge tank's good.
Gotcha.
Capcom,
Manifold's good. ECS is good.
Delta helium valve is open, please. Any other problems in the RCS?
Okay, is that all we come up with for them? We got any other recommendations?
Yeah, we wanted to get fuel cell 1 configured to main A, fuel cell 3 to main B. Did you pass that up?
Let's attempt that, Flight.
13 Houston, we'd like you to attempt to reconnect fuel cell 1 to main A and fuel cell 3 to main B. Verify that quad delta is open.
We went with the wide beam with flight at 55, 5504, the best we can tell.
Okay, Houston, I'm showing, I tried to reset, and fuel cell 1 and 3 are both showing gray flags, but they're both showing zip on the flows.
I copy, Flight.
We copy.
Let me commiserate on that. What do you think about that, Dick?
It means they're connected to the bus?
He's got his grays, but we're showing 0...
and he's reading 0 on the currents on board.
So are we.
Right.
Let him try the other disconnect.
Let's
you want
try
a reverse
putting 1,
configuration?
yeah, putting 1 to
gotcha.
B and 3 to A.
Right, Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
Let's reverse a configuration request.
Okay, but wait a minute. We got a good main A bus. Let's make sure that whatever we do doesn't screw up main A.
Fuel
main
cell
A
2 is on main A flight.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask to change that.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Let's try to put fuel cell 1 on main B, fuel cell 3 on main A. We'll use the other sensing circuitry.
Fuel cell number 1 on main B.
Fuel cell 3 on main A. We're not going to touch fuel cell 2 flight.
Okay, but if we got any problems in the system, I want to make sure that we don't blow the voltage off main A. Then we're not going to be able to see anything.
We're showing a...
Can we review our status here, Si, and see what we've got from a standpoint of status? What do you think we got in the spacecraft that's good?
Main bus A is reading 25 volts.
Okay, main A.
And that's reflected by the fact fuel cell 2 is putting out 53 amps, which is just about the most it can, and keep our voltage up.
Okay.
So that's bona fide. AC bus 2 is 0, which is reflected by the fact we lost main B.
AC bus.
Ecom, this is EPS.
Standby flight. Go EPS.
Let's throw a battery on bus B and bus A.
Okay.
Until we sack it out.
Okay.
We're getting under volts.
Flight Ecom.
GNC, guys.
Go ahead, Econ.
Okay. If we want to keep...
GNC, guys.
Standby, he's changed configuration. We've got battery A on main A. He's got battery A on main A now.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's what I was going to ask you to put a battery on flight.
Flight Inco.
Go, Inco.
We need Omni Bravo. Our high gain won't drive without AC2.
Okay, you want Omni Bravo?
Right.
EPS, Econ?
Yeah.
Why don't we just try fuel cell 1 on main B by itself to see if that takes? We'll
Well,
leave main A
we're
alone.
showing low N2 pressure on fuel cell 1. We're showing low O2 pressure on fuel cell 3. I want to sack out what those fuel cells are doing here. We might have a pressure problem in a fuel cell, it looks like.
Charlie now.
Yeah, see
Two
the
fuel cells
engine.
simultaneously.
That can't be.
Right.
I can't believe that right off the bat.
13 Houston, we need
But-
please.
But they're not feeding currents.
Yeah, if you believe that N2 pressure, we blew a sphere.
Okay, Clyde, we got Omni Charlie and high bit rate.
Yeah, we might have lost fuel cell 1. And it looks like fuel cell 3 is gone too. According to that O2.
Say again, Bay?
We're reading 15 PSI on fuel cell 3 O2.
Yeah, you want to get an onboard readout, Bay?
Yeah.
Okay. You want fuel cell 1 and N2?
N2 and fuel cell 3 O2 pressure.
Those are the only two that are bad. Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
Okay, let's get a readout on a couple fuel cell pressures here.
Okay.
Fuel cell 1 N2 pressure. Fuel cell 3 O2 pressure. We're reading 0 N2 pressure in fuel cell 1 and 13 PSI on fuel cell 3 O2 pressure.
Okay, you want fuel cell 1,
N2 pressure.
N2 pressure. Fuel cell 3, what do you want there?
O2 pressure.
O2 pressure. Capcom, let's get those as a start.
13 Houston,
Flight,
we'd like you to
Go,
verify a
guidance.
couple readings for us.
When this hardware restart, he was doing a crew defined maneuver, and that should have killed it, but
fuel cell 2.
still moving. Maybe he ought to stop it.
Are we using
Yes, go ahead.
I think we ought to disconnect fuel cell 3 from bus B. It's not doing a bit of good. And fuel cell 1 from A. Let's disconnect them and take those pressure readouts again. If he's reading the same we are.
GNC flight.
Oh, you want to get it off?
GNC
And see if we can bring those pressures back up. If we remove the load.
Quad D helium valve. Does that look like that's cleared up? Roger, that's cleared up, flight. We're in good shape. Okay. Now, are we using RCS now?
That's affirmative. We're going to have to switch the thrust.
Now, wait a minute.
Let's see, the temp's not coming down. The TCU's hanging in there.
Yeah, the fuel cell 3.
We're showing the radiator heat rejection is staying.
Standby.
1A.
Give me a minimum fuel usage configuration that'll keep me out of these.
Flight telling you.
Go tell me if...
The LEM heater currents become essentially static.
EPS Econ.
Raj.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Later on.
This is...
Which is 3 oxygen, says 0.6.
2 Baker says 0.6, and say again the other one.
Fuel cell 1 nitrogen reads 0.
Roger, 0.
We confirming those numbers?
We confirm that, right, Dick?
Right. That's what we're reading.
Okay.
I didn't get his 302 readout, but we're reading 8.6 now.
He said, didn't he say 2 Baker? It's 0.6?
Fuck, I need that RCS stuff as soon as you can get it. Okay.
Okay, we came up with those numbers, Flight.
Okay, Si.
Just Max coming, Si.
Let's remove the load from the fuel cell and see if it'll recover.
You want to take, make sure the fuel cell 3 and fuel
take
cell
it off
1
the
are
bus.
disconnected, huh?
Take fuel cell 3 off the bus.
Okay. Fuel cell 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Econ, Flight.
Flight Econ?
Go ahead.
Why don't we try, leave fuel cell 2 alone and just make sure that 1 and 3 are disconnected from both buses. And make sure that there's won't be any load on them at all. And let's see what happens to those cells.
See if we can get that O2 pressure up on fuel cell 3.
What do you want to do? Open circuit fuel cell 1 and 3?
That's firm flight.
Okay. Capcom, let's recommend we open circuit fuel cell number 1 and number 3 and leave fuel cell number 2 as is.
And take
Okay, 1 and 3 open circuit 2 as is, and earlier got a report from them that 1 and 3 were reading gray but 0 flow.
Yeah, Capcom, let's amend that. Econ from Flight.
Flight Econ.
Why don't we just open circuit 1 and make sure that we don't have any problems getting that back onto the bus? Let's
Okay,
just watch it for a while before we make any further moves with 3.
Roger.
Okay, Capcom, let's just open circuit 1 of those right now.
13 Houston, we'd like you to open circuit fuel cell 1. Leave 2 and 3 as is.
Okay, I'll get to work on that.
Flight
And
GNC.
Jack, our O2 quantity number 2 tank is reading 0. Did you get that?
We confirm that. That's Roger Flight. That's the AC problem.
Okay.
Roger.
Yeah, that's because of the AC. And it looks to me, looking out the hatch, that we are venting something.
Crew thinks they're venting.
I heard that flight.
Something out into space.
Fido Econ.
Copy your venting.
Go ahead, Econ.
Let me know when that shows up.
Roger that. Well, we've already seen some of it.
Okay.
It's a gas of some
Right.
sort.
Econ this EPS.
Go ahead.
We've got a funny
Okay,
here.
everybody
N2 pressure is reading 0 on fuel cell 1.
Get anything that looks abnormal in your
Fuel cell 1, O2
Is all right.
is 54. No, it's 10 psi below H2.
See anything that, with the instrumentation you got, it could be venting?
Okay, fuel cell 1, you just wanted off the line now, Jack, is that right?
We just wanted
That's
you
firm
to
flight.
open circuit fuel cell 1.
Okay, she's off the line.
Let me look at the system flight as far as the venting is concerned.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, fuel cell 3, the one, we look like we got good N2 pressure.
Ecom?
Flight, say again.
Have you called in your backup Ecoms now? See if we can get some more brain power in this
We
thing?
got one here.
Roger.
Flight Inco.
Go and go.
Never mind. He's straightening out a little bit.
Okay.
We've got a big delta P here between fuel cell 3, O2, and H2.
That's blown right there.
That's right. That looks like we've blown the fuel cell 3 with a KOH in the oxygen side of, we believe, our telemetry.
Say again, Dick?
Our N2's up all right.
What's coming out?
No, we'll be knocking that KOH into the O2 side
We got lens still attached.
of fuel cell 3.
Spacecraft goods.
Now, we got venting overboard. There's the TC going down on fuel cell 1 now.
Okay, now we don't have any heaters in the cryo tanks.
We don't do anything that's going
We
to
might have
blow
purge
our CSM
valves open on
power
fuel
with the
cells.
batteries, or that will cause us to
O2.
lose the main or the fuel cell number 2. Okay, we want to keep the O2 and that kind of stuff working. We'd like to have RCS, but we got the command module system, so we're in good shape if we need to get home. Let's solve the problem, but let's not make it any worse by guessing.
Ecom, this is EPS.
Go.
I think we ought to start powering down.
Yeah.
Can we, let's get the power down list here.
Flight GNC.
Go, GNC.
We have some jet configurations for you whenever you need them.
Okay. Give them to me.
Okay, Charlie 3, Charlie 4, the main A.
Dick, which one you want?
Bravo 3.
Emergency what?
Coast PTC emergency power down. A14-4.
Got
Well, how about the checklist?
Huh?
Okay. Oh, let's give them the checklist.
Okay.
All emergency.
Okay.
Plus Bravo 3 and Bravo 4.
What are we going to be doing with these, GNC?
Yeah, that'll give us one jet in each direction in each axis.
Okay.
Flight guidance.
Go, guidance.
He's getting close to gimbal lock.
Capcom. Okay. Capcom recommend he bring up C3, C4, B3, B4, C1, C2, and main A, and advise him he's getting close to gimbal lock.
13 Houston, we see you getting close to gimbal lock there. We'd like you
Guidance
to bring up
Could
all
we
quad C's
go
on
to a
main
course
A,
line
quad
with the platform
C1,
here,
C2,
so we don't
C3,
have to use
C4 on
the
main
gas
A,
if we need
and also bring B3 and
reorient if
B4
necessary.
on main A.
I was going to recommend a P-52 in a little bit.
Well, it's going to take a while before we get to the point where we're even thinking of a P-52.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll course the line itself there, won't it?
13 Houston, you read?
It'll course the line at 80.
Right.
Yeah, we got it. Okay, can you tell us anything about the venting, where it's coming from? What window you see it at?
Ecom this CPS.
Go ahead.
That's on,
Right now, Jack. And could you give me the thrusters again?
Okay, the thrusters,
What
we'd like,
Say again, Dick.
on main A,
1-5 and his emergency checklist.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
We want to go through there and let's power down to, if we can get about 10 amps off of there, we'd be in much better shape.
Okay. And ECS Econ?
Go ahead.
Larry, I'm almost afraid to think that we lost our O2 tank 1. Oh, we busted the manifold or something. Why, that pressure shouldn't be down that far.
Okay, I'm coming back to you.
Flight.
Go ahead.
I think the best thing we can do right now is start a power down.
Okay,
Let's go down the emergency 1-5.
you want to power down, let us look at the TM and all that good stuff, and then come back up.
That's firm.
Flight Info, Omni Bravo.
You want Omni Bravo again?
Right.
On board. Omni Bravo?
Dick, you want about 10 amps worth?
Yeah, if we can.
Okay.
Anything will help right now.
Bravo.
Okay. What? You want to go to power down? Give me the page.
Emergency 1-5 flight. We'll go down, try to get a delta of 10 amps reduction.
What?
Okay, we got Omni Bravo flight.
Econ, do you want to go through that again? What do you want to power down to?
I want to power down a total of 10 amps flight.
A total of 10 amps.
That's firm.
Okay. Capcom, we'd recommend emergency power down checklist.
Dick, what do you want to turn off now? We got to go down this list here. There ain't much we can hit right off that's not already off.
Go, GNC.
Say again, Ecom.
There's not much that we can take off that's not already off.
That's right.
Why? You think
Except the computer and the platform, we can power those down, I think.
We'll run
And they're gonna have to do the antenna switching on board.
Sorted out now.
You want, still want 1-5 down to 10?
1-5 powered down, a delta of 10 amps, Capcom.
Okay, 13, this is Houston. We'd like you to go to your GNC checklist. The pink page is 1-5. Do power down until we get a delta of 10 amps. Over.
Our 3 O2 pressure.
Roger.
Ecom for flight.
Go flight.
You don't want to get fuel cell pumps off, do you?
We could go ahead and turn them off on one.
Which one, Dick?
Turn off fuel cell 1 pumps.
Okay. We can do that on fuel cell number 1 flight.
And,
okay, well, let's make sure we don't blow the whole mission.
Okay, Jack, say again that area, not the big page, is the 1-5.
Okay, we'd like you to go down that power down procedure until you get a delta of 10 amps, over.
Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
Would you not want to consider going into PTC?
Well, why don't we get this problem here resolved right now?
This will aid our power down, I think.
Pardon?
This should aid our power down, I'd hope. Wouldn't it?
ECS, EBS.
Well, do you expect that we're going to be in a thermal problem for the next many hours?
Yeah, that's
Econ.
Well, I don't know where Theta Sun is right now, Flight.
Well, it's pretty close to quad A right now.
Are we about 90 degrees?
You copy our...
I don't know exactly where. It's between A and B, mostly on A.
All right, Jack, we're we're right now. Where did you say that was located, Jack?
That's in your system checklist, page 1-5.
It's an emergency checklist. And we got to get those down and try to get that battery off. We got to get this one fuel cell to handling both buses. What we've got to do.
I hear you, Dick.
And what we've got to do is get fuel cell 3 off of bus B and see if we can recover something there.
Okay, you didn't see anything on one.
Both fuel cells.
Yeah, okay.
My telemetry shows me that.
We don't have TM funnies. It's all adding up.
That's right. And they're just not supplying the loads.
Okay, what you want to do is get fuel cell
1 and 3 off the bus, power down to where fuel cell 2 can carry both buses, and get fuel cell 2 on and the batteries off on both buses and the batteries off. Because we need those batteries for entry.
Yeah, we got to go all the way down to 40 amps though, see?
That's okay. Fuel cell 2 can't handle 40 amps by itself. We're going to have to go even lower than that.
Spanicom.
Hey, Si?
Go ahead. On conference.
Precise period of time for recapping.
Ecom, Span.
Where are you?
you.
Okay, on conference, Bill. What do you want?
Be sure that fuel cell 2 pumps are on AC1.
That'd buy us some more time from a standpoint of
These RCS
reviewing the data.
Because if you don't, you're going to lose it.
Right. Dick, are fuel cell 2 pumps on AC1 right now?
As we could. How far are we out of attitude?
I think so.
He's a fair ways out right now.
No, they must be on AC2. Let me check that. Because their temperature's going up. Let me check.
Hey, EPS, Econ.
Go.
We've got to get we got to get AC2 back temporarily so we can see what's going on with the O2 pressures. O2 tank 2 pressure.
Okay, that we can't do that. We can throw battery B on AC2 for a short period.
Yeah, with
I hate to do that.
Yeah. What I want to do is power down to where and get fuel cell 2 on both buses.
They are uncoupled and we still are.
But I'd sort of like to check out bus B to see.
He's powering down now. We're down to 42 amps, Dick. Oh, no, never. Yeah, he's down to 42 amps now.
Ecom ECS.
Go.
Hey, Si, we could have lost O2 tank 2.
Yeah?
That looks like the one.
Now, let's see if we got to get a pressure readout on that thing.
Right.
If we can.
If he's never do it, he ought to be able to do it
Okay. Flight Econ?
Just a go, Econ.
Okay, I need one thing right now. He's powering down. He's down to 41 amps total spacecraft. I'd like to get my AC2 bus back so I can look at O2 tank 2 pressure. I have no insight into that.
Okay.
Let's get, I guess we can put inverter 3 to main A, AC2. And then
let me
we'll
ask
just
you
do
a
it
question.
temporarily.
Before you do that, would you like to make sure you got all AC loads you don't need isolated from the bus?
Nah, let's not do that right now, Flight. I think we're in good shape that way. The main A is up high enough where it can handle the inverter.
Well, the thing that concerns me is throwing equipment. We had a problem. We don't know the cause of the problem.
Flight, I've got a feeling we've lost 2 fuel cells. I hate to put it that way, but I don't know why we've lost them. It doesn't all tag up. And it's not an instrumentation problem, the best I can tell right now.
Okay, I'll tell you what, let's discuss this for just a little bit longer there, Si. Capcom, let's start him moving back towards a PTC attitude. Let's start him going into his rate damping. I feel it's going to be a relatively long period.
Stand by one, Fred.
Nail down the problem. Go ahead.
He's asking, how do we like his
Okay, Jack, and on this page 1-5, we proceeded right down the list, all the way down, and we're right now at BMAG number 2 is at warm-up.
You copy. Roger, we copied BMAG 2 and warm-up. We'll follow you.
Okay, Dick. Hey, is fuel cell...
Okay, and something is giving us the rates, Jack, both in pitch and roll. So I'm suspecting that
fuel cell...
whatever it is that's bending back there...
Fuel cell... Hey, Dick?
Yeah?
Fuel cell 2 pumps are on AC2?
We're starting to pick up rates again. Can you pick up any jet fire?
I'm trying to check here.
Stand by.
GNC? What's fire?
Hey, Si,
Go ahead.
why don't you put one inverter on both buses and you'll save about 4 amps.
Yeah. I guess this kills the PTC, too.
We can try AC, that inverter 1 on both AC buses.
Yeah, that's a
You want
suggestion.
inverter 1 on both AC buses?
Right.
Okay.
Flight, that agrees with what we're seeing here.
Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
I got a little correction. Let's put inverter 1 on both AC buses, please.
Inverter 1 on both AC. Why?
That's firm. So I can get some AC bus power back, so I can have some insight into my AC bus 2 telemetry, especially my crowds. Maybe the venting may be coming from that. And also, I think that the fuel cell 2 pumps are on AC2, and this will take care of it without switching the pumps yet.
Say that again. You think your fuel cell pumps?
Yeah, the fuel cell 2 pumps I think are on AC2.
Okay, but according to the checklist, he should have turned those off, right? So he said he was down to BMAG number 2 is in warm-up, so he's already gone through the fuel cell pump stuff.
Good enough.
Okay, so you want to configure inverter 1 on both AC buses.
That's a firm flight.
Si, keep this mix coming.
Flight, I didn't, I
Go
was
ahead.
listening to the spacecraft, and I didn't pass up inverter 3 to main A to AC2. Did you delete that?
Yeah, we deleted that.
All right.
You want to put inverter 1 on both AC buses. Ecom and Capcom, let's do it.
Okay.
13, Houston, we need to get some more instrumentation up. We'd like you to put the
Ecom,
inverter 1
flight.
on both AC buses.
Flight Econ.
Monitor this barrel when we switch
With
it
you.
in.
Econ, this
Tell
CPS.
you and control from flight.
Go ahead.
You're right on that. Fuel cell 2 is on AC2.
See if there's anything you
Okay. Well, we got the pumps back. Mark.
Roger, flight. Okay, and I want to report on that in about the next 15 minutes. Quick look type stuff.
ECS Econ.
Go ahead. Go, Pato.
How's that temperature look on O2 tank 2?
Jack, one of the items that we turned off was all the fuel cell pumps.
Roger.
It doesn't look good. Let's take a hack at that. Stand by, Si.
Let's get fuel cell.
Fuel cell 2 needs this pump back. We ought to take care of that guy.
Fuel cell Flight Econ.
Go ahead.
Fuel cell 2 pumps to AC1.
You want fuel cell 2 pump to AC1.
Affirmative.
Capcom fuel cell 2 pump to AC1.
Okay, Fred, we want fuel cell 2 pumps to AC1, please. Fuel cell 2 to AC1, Roger. Okay, it's on AC1.
Ecom from flight.
Flight Econ.
Have you got anybody getting a delog in this thing downstairs? Network from flight.
Flight network.
Bring me up another computer in the RTCC, will you?
We got one machine on the RTCC and we got dual CPs downstairs.
Okay, I want another machine up in the RTCC and I want a bunch of guys capable of running D-logs down there.
Roger that.
Light, did you hear?
Dick, you want that battery on?
Yeah, we've been on there 30 minutes, but we take it off now. We're going to put that fuel cell 2 to its knees. We've got to power down some more.
GNC, say again. Have you got any thrusters firing?
We're looking at that. I'd rather put another battery on there and take A off. Well,
can we turn them all off and...
We run 30 minutes at an average of about 12 amps. So we've got about 6 amp hours out of it already.
Okay, but...
He's been trying to counteract the rates.
We can go for a little longer.
He's been getting
we got
a negative pitch and a negative roll.
Okay.
We got to power down another 5 amps before I'd want to take that battery off, I think.
I'll tell you what, GNC, can you get somebody in the back room to try to figure out what the equivalent delta V is?
Span ECS, meet me on conference.
Hey, Bill, O2 tank 2 pressure?
Figure out what's venting.
We're cycling to 50 amps.
Okay, it's low. It's been low. It looks like the culprit is probably venting. In fact, it's probably the one that blew, if anything, caused the problem.
Okay, I see 19 PSI.
Right.
The LEM guys.
Okay.
O2 tank 1 is steadily decreasing. About when the problem was started, it was about 360 PSI or so.
Okay.
Econ from flight, what did...
Of course, we can't get any heater.
Okay, you got 2 good AC buses. What did all that tell you now?
It tells me that, well, just give me about 2 more minutes, Flight.
Okay, take your time.
Hey, Larry.
Okay, 13, we've got lots of...
Yes, I didn't catch that.
Okay, now listen, let's review this O2 situation.
And you'll be the first one to know.
We know we got the AC2 bus back, but look at that temperature. That temperature is reflecting that pressure in O2 tank 2, isn't it?
Negative. That indicates a full tank.
What was it before we started this whole mess?
Okay, Jack, and the weird configuration we're sitting in now
was about 860 and a temperature of about 100 and minus 192 psi.
We're going to stay in this situation until you kind of give us an okay to reinstall the probe and drill.
Roger, concur, Captain.
We'll get you an answer.
The LEM consumables.
Roger.
Flight, tell me we copy. Roger.
Flight Fido.
Go, Fido.
2 machines in the RTC tank.
Okay.
Ecom ECF.
Go.
Okay, Si, what were you going at here?
Trying to figure out what happened to that O2 tank 2.
Right. Now, our pressure still should be good. And you see, we got a low point there.
Why did the temperature drop so suddenly?
Because it probably don't have anything left in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're losing tank 1, if we can believe it.
Losing what?
Tank 1 pressure.
Yeah. No heater cycles. I can believe it.
Well...
And it's the only one on the line now, if tank 2's failed. It's going down. It's been going down. Surge
you think
tank's going down.
We blew the manifold?
It looks pretty good that we blew it between the check valve and O2 tank 2. In other words, I don't think O2 tank 1's affected, other than it doesn't get any heater cycles right now to boost the pressure up. I'm hoping that's right.
Well, I hate to go manual heat, wouldn't you?
Huh? Gotta get...
Econ, this ECS.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got to get a main B up to get some heaters back in that tank too and get the pressure back up on it.
We can't put fuel cell 2 to both buses.
Yeah, with a battery A on there, I think it'll hack it.
We got a
Did we
good
ever
charger.
remove fuel cell 3 from bus B? I think we ought to do that, but we got to get that O2 pressure
Yeah, we did
up.
that.
We got to get that O2 pressure up there. I'd rather put B on, fat B on B to get that
Go, GNC.
heater up on,
Thruster Alpha 3 on main A and see if that'll help control that pitch.
we got to get that up.
Okay, get me some real-time plotting on how we're using
Okay.
RCS.
Or we're going to lose fuel cells and everything.
In the pitch, actually, we really don't seem to be using it, and that's why I'd like to go to Alpha and see if that changes it.
Okay, now what do you want again?
Thruster Alpha 3, main A.
Alpha 3 to main A. Capcom, do you want to pass that up to the crew, please?
13, we'd like to have you put thruster Alpha 3 on main A, please.
Give me a gross amount of RCS propellant consumed so far. GNC.
Roger, flight.
Okay, Jack, are you monitoring the quad temps and quad A? Package temps?
That's affirmative, flight. We're still below the limits.
Flight Econ.
Go, Ecom.
We've really got to get that battery off the line and power down some more. And we've got to get some main B power back so we can build our pressure back up in O2 tank 1. It's down to 318 psi. See, with main B down, we have no heaters in O2 tanks.
Hey, what do you want to power down?
Well, where do you say you got down to? BMAG 2 off, not inclusive?
That's affirmative. BMAG 2 is in warm-up.
I think we'll go ahead and turn that down. We still have the LEM with us, right?
That's affirmative.
So if we shut down the SCS, we ought to be a little better off, perhaps. I think we ought to press on and go down through BMAG 2 off and get those lights minimum.
Okay. How much you want to power down? Another 10 amps?
Let's go get the BMAG off and get the lights down to a minimum. Let's go down 2 more steps.
Okay, Capcom, we want to power down a little bit more. We want to get the BMAG off and the lights minimum there.
13, this is Houston. We'd like to power down just a little bit more.
Go ahead, Bill.
So let's
Hey,
get
Si?
BMAG 2 off.
They suggest, too, that you isolate the surge tank and just use as much cryos as you can and save that surge tank.
Right.
Okay, our lights are down. The BMAG 2 is going for the standby off.
Okay, Si. Now, how long do you want to leave this battery online?
I want to try to get it off as quick as I can, but I need to get power down. Yeah, the crew did report they removed fuel cell 3. They open circuited it also, didn't they?
I don't believe so.
Fuel cell 1 and fuel cell 3 should be open circuited.
We just had our last call for fuel cell 1 open circuit, and we left fuel cell 3 as it was.
Well, let's open circuit fuel cell 3.
Open circuit fuel cell 3.
Get it off the bus.
Flight
Houston,
GNC.
we'd like you to open circuit fuel cell 3.
Calling flight, say again.
This GNC flight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we've used a total of about
Open
7
circuit
pounds.
fuel cell 3.
Go ahead, Jack.
Change the jet configuration, see if that'll help us out.
Okay, what do you want to try now?
We would like to turn
Okay,
the
fuel cell 3
throttle
is off the line.
and all Delta to main A.
Turn all Bravo off and Delta to main A, right?
Roger, that'll verify that it doesn't.
EPS, Econ.
Go.
Get Steve to figure the times that we want the got a D-log.
Turn all Bravo.
We got to go back and look at this.
Okay, I copied the 5555.
You want that battery off the line now? 42 amps?
Yeah, we can take it off now.
Okay. Flight Econ.
Go, Econ.
Let's take battery A off the main.
We can support the
That's
main
firm.
now on the one fuel cell, even with the Cryo 2 going down?
That's firm flight.
Okay, what's your worry level on Cryo 2?
Say again, flight.
Okay, you want to...
I want to save the battery flight.
Okay. See, what battery have we got online, Si?
Say again.
What battery have we got online?
Battery Alpha flight.
Battery A, okay.
The next step, of course, we'll then think we got to worry about getting some power on main B to get the pressure back up in O2 tank 1.
Roger. Turn battery A off, Capcom.
13, Houston, turn battery A off.
That's fine. We were pulling
Battery A off, Roger.
You got to isolate that surge tank side.
ECS Econ, is that surge tank going down?
Roger that.
Okay. Flight Econ?
Go, Econ.
Let's have them isolate the surge tank also and save it. We use the cryo as much as we can.
Say that again?
Let's isolate the surge tank
Why
and the
that?
command module.
I don't understand that, Si.
I want to use the cryo as much as possible.
But that would seem to be the opposite if you want to keep the fuel cell going.
The fuel cells are fed off the tanks in the service module flight. The surge tank is in the command module.
We need the surge tank.
We want to save the surge tank, which we need for entry.
Okay, I'm with you.
Roger.
Capcom, let's also isolate the surge tank.
Si, what are you doing for me to get a heater in tank
Okay, you want to isolate the surge tank?
That's the next step, Larry. We got to get some power on main A.
Doing is securing our
Main B, rather.
systems right now.
Okay, 26.87, huh?
Right.
13 Houston, we'd like you to isolate your O2 surge tank. Over.
Hey, O2 tank 1 should come off of main A. It's power.
That's right.
Tank off now, Jack.
And the motor switch should be operated off of main A or B, back in the service module.
Yeah,
You're right.
We're trying to figure out some way to get power on...
Copy that, Larry?
You want to get it in? Say again?
Tank, stand by.
Your heater on O2 tank 1 comes off main A. And so it should be operating.
Roger. Hey,
you're right.
That's very interesting, Larry, that it's not operating.
Well, no, he comes.
It sounds like we need to go to manual heat there.
Yeah, let's configure some cryo switches there in the command module.
Okay, he's got it off. There you go, Larry. He powered it off and went through emergency checklist. Now, EPS Econ?
Hey, Si, you gotta isolate that repress tank too.
Econ from flight.
Flight Econ.
Would you consider put a battery on bus B long enough to get the pressure up?
Well, I want to determine whether or not the 5 amps is going to hurt us any. That's going to be in main A, incidentally. I made a mistake. O2 tank 1 heaters are in main A. Go EPS.
Say, Sam, on those D-logs, we want to start about 5550.
Okay, now let me address that a little bit here. Dick?
Yeah.
Let's see, O2 tank 1 heater is going to cost us 5 amps. What's it going to do to the main?
That's not going to bother us at this level.
Okay, you want to see if the manual heater is going to work.
That's right.
Flight Econ?
Go Econ.
Okay, since O2 tank 1 heaters are on main A, and we've got them off now, we'll be able to stand the 5 amps temporarily for a manual pressurization. Let's have them turn the heaters on manually in O2 tank 1.
O2
and we'll watch the pressure.
Tank 1.
Okay, we had a service module RCSB light check due to package temperature.
It's cryogenic O2 heater 1
Service
flight.
module RCSB.
Flight, we copy that, no problem.
No problem, Capcom. Capcom, we want to get cryo O2 tank number 1 heater on.
Lights we got on now. Cryo press, fuel cell 1, fuel cell 3, main bus B undervolt, suit compressor.
Yeah, he's got that suit compressor off, Larry.
Yeah, he powered down.
We'd like to build up the pressure in O2 tank 1, so turn the heaters on manually. We'll watch.
You're going to keep track of that time, huh?
Roger that.
You can stand the 5 amps on main A.
That's firm. We think so, Flight.
Roger, we realize that. We feel we can stand 5 more amps on it.
Go ahead, Bill.
They'd like
Repress pack.
He may get a.
Roger.
He just got a caution warning.
Okay.
We cycle down just enough every once in a while.
Okay, 26.9, huh?
Yeah, 26.
There, Econ.
Do you see a 5 amp increase there, Dick?
That's firm.
Okay, that's firm, Flight.
Okay.
26.7 volts, looks good. We'll watch the pressure. Flight, to be consistent, we ought to isolate the repress package also.
Okay, you want to isolate repress pack.
ECS Econ.
Go.
It looks grim.
Yes, it does.
Got the 5 amps and no pressure increase.
Still, it just went down.
Get one of your guys full time in the back room, keeping track.
I'm seeing some cycles here, Ecom. I'm not sure whether that's the
I
heater
think we may have some RCS, huh?
Larry in the back room.
Yeah.
Keep track of configuration.
Okay, how about
It's cycling 10 amps here, off
Can we
and
get
on.
the fans on in tank 1?
Okay, now has anybody started
That
the
voltage
D-log
went down like it was hitting
Yeah.
5 amp increase.
Got a D-log going.
It was staying 27 something.
That are going to be in a position to evaluate.
It's going down. We're losing it.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Let's try the fans, Si.
Okay. You want the heat left, leave the heaters on, right?
Yeah, if it's not causing any problem on your bus.
Procedures, Econ.
Hey, Cy, can you live with a backup format 8 in case we need a playback from Goldstone for a time period?
Yeah, I think I can.
Okay, thank you.
Hang around the clock.
Roger.
Flight Econ.
Go ahead, Econ.
I want the fans on in O2 tank 1. We're not seeing a pressure increase. We can stand it.
You can stand it?
That's fair.
Fans on in tank 1, right?
That's right. Affirmative flight.
Capcom, do you want to bring the fans on in
That's
tank
less than
1?
an amp flight.
Okay.
Okay, he's got an MC&W for varied reasons.
13 Houston, we'd like you to additionally bring on the fans in O2 tank 1, and we can stand the additional amperage on that.
Okay, bring on the fans.
It's EPS.
Go.
We're in a serious problem if we can't get any pressure there, and we got to power down some more here.
That's right. And luckily we got the LEM.
Yeah, but that's not going to help this fuel cell.
That's right. We got to get it all the way down.
If we can't save that pressure, we're going to lose this third fuel cell.
Raj. Larry?
Go.
You better give me a rate on pressure.
Is stop venting, it's empty.
Tell me when I'm going to lose it.
Or do you feel it could also be associated with the thruster quad Bravo we just isolated?
Possible flight, we really don't know yet, though.
Okay, are we essentially in a... can you figure out what orientation we are from a standpoint of thermal control? I assume, what's our rate right now?
Well, right now he has a minus 1/10 of a degree in pitch. And yaw and roll are very close to 0.
Okay.
Flight Econ.
Go ahead, Econ.
The pressure in O2 tank 1 is all the way down to 297. We better think about getting in the LEM or using the LEM systems. I'm going to have to power way down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to save the O2 for the third fuel cell. For fuel cell 2, rather.
Do you have enough people there to analyze this data when it's ready?
Roger that.
The heaters aren't working. Now let's start thinking circuit breakers. You got any circuit breakers you want to check there?
We've seen the current, didn't we?
We saw the current, Flight.
You saw the current.
Fluctuations here. We can't tell whether it's
Okay, look. Let's check it anyway, Flight. You're right.
It looks like it's cycling up a PCM count from 297 to 302. Give me some circuit breakers to check.
Okay, panel 226. Cryogenic O2 heater 1, main A circuit breaker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch you there. Cryo O2 tank 1, panel 226.
Cryo O2 heater 1, main A, panel 226. Also, Flight, let's check the fan motor circuit breakers tank 1 on panel 226 also.
Fan motor.
Cryo fan motors tank 1. There are 3 circuit breakers, 3-phase.
Econ this EPS. Go. I suggest putting bad A back on to supplies. We're getting too low on voltage here with that computer on.
I'm trying to get him to power down now, Dick.
Okay, but this, I'd like a little stiffer main A bus while we're playing these games.
I don't think we're going to come to any solution here until we get back to the initial set of conditions, so I hope you got a set of guys looking at a D-log pretty soon.
We could bomb this thing pretty fast.
O2 heater number 1, main A, and check the 3 cryo fan motors, tank 1, 3-phase.
Okay, EPS Econ.
Go.
When do you want that D-log started?
You can try 55-50.
Roger.
Once per second?
Yeah, we think this started really 55-55, but...
Just like it should be. I got 3 react breakers, 3 rad breakers.
All right.
Once per 10 seconds?
Yeah.
That's all you need, huh? Dick?
I think so.
Okay.
Do we need a once per second for anything in particular?
Well, we don't know.
Except for academic purposes.
Yeah.
I think once per 10 seconds, and then we can narrow down.
Okay.
Hello. This is Del Mute. You copy? Jack, looking outside, the number of particles has diminished greatly, almost ceased now, which indicates maybe what it was venting has almost stopped.
Roger, Jack. Thank you. We copy.
Flight Econ.
Go ahead, Econ.
Don't we have both BMAGs off?
Roger.
Capcom, would you verify that both BMAGs are off, please?
And 13, we'd like to verify that both BMAGs are off, please.
Negative. We just have one BMAG.
You want to bring it off, right, Ecom?
Number 1 is still on.
Affirmative, fine.
Capcom, let's get it off.
Okay, Jack, let's take BMAG 1 off.
Procedures, Ecom, AFT conference.
Go ahead.
Okay, I need a D-log. 55 plus 50.
I've already got a
D-log
initiated from 55, 54 up until 5600.
Okay.
Okay, is that go?
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay, 2 copies I've got coming.
Roger. What do you got,
Okay.
once per second or what?
Once per second.
Okay.
Okay, another thing, Si. In order to get this playback from Goldstone, we may have a 30-second data drop. I'll coordinate it through all the MOCR before we do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Make sure flight knows that too.
I will do that.
Roger.
Capcom from flight. Will you get a cockpit panel 1, 2 layout and have the crew, just get the thing and have the crew read across all instruments, all gauges, and write down exactly what they read in those things.
Okay, you want a survey of panels 1 and 2 on gauges?
Yeah.
Okay. And talkback, huh?
That's affirmative. Figure out some code that you can use.
Ecom, ECS.
And,
Go.
I think that's something we should
So it looks like from the leak rate that we've got about 1 hour and 54 minutes left until we're down to 100 PSIA in tank 1,
survey of
which is about the end of it for a fuel cell.
NBC's 1 and 2.
About 1.7 pounds per minute.
And talkback.
See, that juice is still going down there, Ecom. You got any more suggestions?
Okay, we'll start with
Flight, Ecom.
Any more suggestions in trying to pump up O2 tank 1 pressure?
No. Flight, we're going to hit 100 PSI in an hour and 54 minutes. That's the end right there.
I've got ball number 1 appears to be working.
Okay, 100 PSI.
Less than 2 hours now.
And yaw about 13 degrees.
Larry, how long can we go off the...
Say again.
How long can we go off the pressure decay on those tanks?
Okay, Houston.
I didn't follow you.
No, we can't. Not for the... Not Span, Ecom.
Hey, did we close the reactant valves on those 2 fuel cells that's down? We could be losing cryos through there.
Yeah. EPS, Ecom.
Go.
Listen, you know, Span's input was to close those reactant valves on the fuel cells that we open circuited. We could be losing it through the reactant valves. You want to shut the O2 down?
Well, I see no flows
Yeah,
on
there
those
you
rate
go.
sensors. And if we close the reactant valves, we've lost the fuel cells.
Say again?
If we close the reactant valves, we lost the fuel cells. I'm not sure this problem's not back up in the tank somewhere. And if we can get that O2 straightened out, it might straighten out the
I don't think
true
we're
O2
going to get it
pressure.
straightened out, Dick.
I don't either. There's a possibility that leak could be between that reactant valve and the flow rate sensor. If it is, then shutting that off may help us. But that'd be a dual failure, not a single failure.
Say again?
That'd be a multiple failure, not a single point failure,
Mm-hmm.
to cause both fuel cells to go
It'd have to be in the cryo tanks for both to go.
somewhere back there.
Yeah, that's right. It's common. Dick, if you blasted a hole downstream between the rate transducer and the reactant valve, that's manifold right there at all 3 cells.
Okay, we're going to shut off one.
Whatever plan
I think I'd shut off fuel cell 3 reactants first.
Why did you pick 3?
Because this O2 pressure's the lowest.
Unless we get a heck of a lot smarter, I think we're wasting our time planning and using the SPS.
Fuel cell 1 O2 is up pretty good.
All of our return to Earth type
That should be through there.
Yeah.
Pressure makes me think that might be a
and or RCS. And I
Think we blew the transducer?
Transducer.
Okay.
I'm assuming you want fastest possible return.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Okay, we'll work on it from that.
Okay.
But it looks like O2 tank 1, O2, fuel cell 1, O2 is trying to stay up there pressure-wise.
Raj. Flight Econ?
Go ahead, Econ.
Okay, listen, there is a possibility that we blew a O2 line in one of the fuel cells, and it's effectively manifolded there, of course. Now, I want to shut off one of the reactant valves to one of the fuel cells, and that would be fuel cell 3, since its O2 pressure is gone. Now, fuel cell 1's O2 pressure is trying to stay up there at 45 psi. Maybe the problem is in fuel cell 3.
The only thing is the rates are not confirming.
That sounds like a good assumption right there.
Yeah, fuel cell 3 is lost anyway as far as
flight GNC.
Go, GNC.
Turn
say EPS.
Except the rates aren't confirming that.
Yeah.
The flow rates.
Well, what else can we do?
I can't think of anything right now.
I know you're thinking.
Recommend thruster C1 2 off.
And the rad out is about 30.
Say again, Flight.
Thruster C1 2 off.
C1 and 2 off.
No, C1 off. I added a word in there. Turn thruster C1 off.
In here a minute. We'd like to have thruster C1 off. C1 is off. And proceed. My last copy is secondary rad in.
Econ from Flight.
Flight Econ.
Why don't you show me where you think that problem is?
Okay, Clint's coming up.
Your secondary rad in gave to you 72 degrees. The rad out's about 30. The fine color FF temp is reading about 65. Steam pressure full scale high. Fine call discharge pressure about 9 psi. The secondary accumulator is about 34%. Temperatures, suits showing about 52 degrees, cabin about 58 degrees. Pressures, suit reading 4.1, cabin at 5. Partial pressure CO2 is up to a little over 1, about 1.1. On the SPS side of the house, the temperature is 72 degrees. Helium's reading 3,500. N2A is reading 2,300. N2B about 2,450. And our ullage pressures, fuel is reading about 165. Oxidizer 170. Fuel cells. Fuel cell 1, both flows are zip. Skin temp 405 degrees.
APS Econ.
Go.
We didn't get the inline heaters off, did we?
Fuel cell.
But they're not on anyway right now. We better get them off.
Yeah, let's get them off.
Right.
Right. To flow reading of 0.13 to 0.14.
Flight Econ.
And the O2 flow is right now pegged full scale high, although it's been varying depending on.
Go ahead, Econ.
We need to get the make sure the inline heaters for fuel cells 1 and 3 are off.
1.1 up to full scale high. The T-scan is about 445, and the condenser exhaust 180. Let's see, if you want it on the DC indicator.
Econ from Flight, you want to shut off both reactant valves to fuel cell number 3?
It does it anyway, Flight.
Okay.
And the inline heaters off in fuel cells 1 and 3, please.
What we're proposing here, supposing here, Capcom, is we may have had some problem in fuel cell number 3, since that's the one that's reading no O2 right now, and we may be losing our O2 through fuel cell number 3, the O2 manifold, in as much as they're manifolded together commonly. Looks like the O2 and fuel cell 1 and 2 seem to be trying to stay up there. And fuel cell 3 looks like it's the oddball here. Capcom, let's close the reactant valve to fuel cell number 3.
Okay, close reactant valve to fuel cell number 3. And you're saying that 1 and 2 look okay?
Well, what it looks like the pressure's trying to stay up there, and this is the best guess we've got right now because we got to stop this O2 flow.
Okay, 13, this is Houston. It appears to us that we're losing O2 flow through fuel cell 3. So we want you to close the react valve on fuel cell 3. It looks like fuel cell 1.
Charlie 2 off. Why are we interested in holding attitude? If we're not venting, why not drift for a while? That'd probably be better from a standpoint of thermal control anyway, wouldn't it?
Are you saying fuel cell 1 and 2, 1 and 2 are trying to hold up, but we're leaking O2 out of fuel cell 3?
Same line.
And you want me to shut the react valve on fuel cell 3. Did I hear you right?
That's affirmative. Close the react valve on fuel cell 3.
Okay. I'll go to the SSR page. You want me to go through that whole smash for fuel cell shutdown? Is that correct?
You want him to go through that whole smash for fuel cell shutdown?
How about that, EPS?
Heaters and off?
Yeah, you want him to go through the fuel cell shutdown.
That's right.
That's firm flight. He's gone through much of it already by the pumps off.
Okay, you want him to go through the whole fuel cell shutdown, heaters and all?
Heaters, reactant valves, and the pumps, of course, he's already got.
Okay. Have him go ahead, Capcom.
And get the inline heaters off on fuel cell 1 also, Fly.
Inline heaters off and fuel cell 1.
Roger, we'll cut the current requirement down that way.
Okay, 13, we want you to turn the inline heaters off on fuel cell 1. Then we want you to go through the fuel cell shutdown procedure on fuel cell 3. Read back.
Okay, shut down the inline heaters on fuel cell 1. We're proceeding with the shutdown special subroutine for fuel cell 3.
That's affirmative.
Tom holding that sounds like he's going out.
How you doing there, Inco, from a standpoint of omni switching?
We might be a little better on Bravo.
Okay, can you figure me out some way to keep communications and yet cut down a bit in the load? You might talk to ECOM on it.
Okay, we can turn the tape
13 Omni Bravo, please.
ECOM's in flight.
Flight ECOM?
You don't need the tape recorder, do you?
Heck no.
Let's get it off.
It may be already off, but that's one thing we don't need.
Let's go down the list as much of that Inco stuff we can get, Flight. I think that's about the one biggie right there.
I think that's about the only thing we can give up. If we turn the power amp off, we won't get high bit rate.
Capcom from flight.
Go.
It's also verified tape recorders off, please.
Okay, I think we...
I don't think we got down that far on the list, did we? We went to the BMAGs, and that was lights, BMAGs and lights, and I think we stopped right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's firm flight. We'll skip a step and go to tape recorder off.
13 Houston, over.
Go ahead.
Okay, you got Omni Bravo, and we'd like to have you verify that the tape recorder is off, please.
Hey, ECS Econ, where did we start in O2 tank 1 pressure?
Okay, Jack.
AFD meat recovery
With an 0618 showing, and I can't get rid of it.
What is that, Capcom?
Stand by. Just
We cut it.
I got about 361 pounds.
We had an 0618 and couldn't get
My cut up, hard cut.
No, where'd the pressure start at?
361
It
is
just
where I cut.
stepped off to that?
Yes, it did.
That's why it looked like an instrumentation problem.
Right.
But it can't be.
I mean, where was...
Sorry? Ecom ECS.
Go ahead.
We went from nominal pressure down to 373.
Okay, got it.
Okay, fuel cell 3 reactor off.
Roger, Jim, thank you.
Okay, you copy that, you guys? 268 it was.
Flight final.
Ecom, this EPS.
Okay, flight. I had him reading off a lot of gauge readings. We got over to fuel cell 3.
Did you get it in some kind of master? We got it on tape. I'm sure we can
ECS Econ.
get it off the tape.
Go ahead.
Did I see it O2 tank 1 come up?
Negative.
Okay.
It's
Could've sworn we-
bouncing between 268 and 272, sir.
Eco spin conference.
Ecom EPS.
Go.
Yeah, that one, fuel cell 1, O2 Delta.
Okay, Jack. Step
Okay.
2, routine 1, procedure has been completed.
Roger, thank you.
Did I copy him to say fuel cell 1 was cut down too?
No, he didn't say that.
Okay. Okay.
No, he was just confirming that the shutdown procedure was complete.
Fuel cell 1.
When the system's been standard, I need 2 minutes for checkpoint to save all this data.
Belay that. I was reading the number wrong here.
Ecom, GNC, can you stand a checkpoint right now?
Well, it only takes a minute. I guess I'll have to if we need it, Flight.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think it'd be good to get a checkpoint. Go ahead. Ecom, have you deduced anything? Have you seen your reactant valves go off? Have you seen flow cease?
You can't tell, Flight.
Yeah.
They were open-circuited, and the pressure
We never saw that flow on the flow rates.
still appears to be going down.
Yeah.
Negative flight.
Flight Ecom?
Go, Ecom.
We better confirm that the fuel cell 3 reactant valve circuit breaker on panel 226 was closed when he shut those.
Fuel cell 3 reactant circuit breaker. And what panel?
226. They're normally open.
Okay, good idea.
You want them close the circuit breaker,
Yeah.
open the valve, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, Flight, you should have got a bar pull on that.
Yeah, wouldn't he get a barber pole when he turned the reactants off? Ecom?
Firm Flight.
Let me check.
Even with the circuit breaker open?
No.
No, okay, so he ought to know that. We can just verify that he got a...
Okay, Jack, I'd like to bring on Jet A4. I've got...
Okay, Flight, we have our checkpoint.
Okay. All flight controllers, I'd suggest you start handing over because I think a fresh team is probably going to be thinking clearer. I think the rest of us can continue working in some other function in support of the new team coming on.
Go on thruster A4 flight.
Okay. Go on
Omni
thruster
Charlie
A4.
flight.
Raj
Omni Charlie.
and Omni Charlie.
I got a positive pitch rate, and I can't stop it.
Okay. Flight, he wants to bring on A4. He hasn't got any way to stop a pitch rate, indirect or auto.
Go.
Okay, Jack, bring A4 on.
Tell me, Ecom.
Stop your pitch rate.
Bunker 2.
Go ahead, Ecom.
Now, let me tell you, we're in the danger of losing all 3 fuel cells. So you guys get yourself geared up, okay?
Roger.
Okay.
We're working on the right procedure.
That's your power procedure and all. You guys had one worked out already, I think, didn't you?
That's right. We got
Okay.
it.
Press on.
Econ,
Go.
is there any chance of getting main bus B? We need that in order to get power
Yeah,
to
we
the
could
CSM from the LEM.
We could put the fuel cell on main B, but the only trouble is we're in the danger of losing all 3 fuel cells, and we don't want to use those batteries except for entry. So when we lose the cells, we want to shut the bird down.
Okay, we
And
only
it's
need
on
it.
you.
We only need it momentarily.
We can do that.
Okay.
We'll do that for you.
Back is barber pole.
We'll do that for you. Make sure you make that point, okay?
Roger.
Wind barber pole in there through the switch.
Roger.
Copy.
Okay, all flight controllers, I'm handing over to Glenn. I assume the majority of other team guys are pretty much briefed and up to speed as best we can. Now, what I suggest is
Flight,
the
you're
white
on
team
Gauss
do two
conference.
things. They go over the D-logs.
Okay. Let me go back over this again. We're heading over to Glenn. I'd suggest the white team goes back and starts going through the D-log of the data. In other words, let's see if we can go back to the initial conditions and work in that problem to see if we can find out what happened, and we may find some better clues as to what to do, and let the fresh guys come on and try to figure out where do we go from here. And the D-log is in a way now. Roger.